All right, day 2 is here. I absolutely loved hearing what foods you guys think are good and what foods you guys think are bad, and I cannot wait to dive into those deeper. Today, I'm going to share with you a story about one of my clients, and for the sake of anonymity, we're going to call her Ruby. And so, Ruby came to me really feeling stuck. She felt like she couldn't get comfortable in her body. She felt so confused about what foods to eat, what foods not to eat. It was so different. She felt so different from when she was an athlete to now in this thing called life after sport, and she was having a hard time navigating it. And so Ruby and I sat down together and we really worked through it. One of the biggest things that we overcame was keeping that morality attached to food. We let go of the morality attached to food so Ruby could make food choices purely based on herself, purely based on knowing what foods would fuel her body best. And we'll get there. But the biggest thing that Ruby and I talked about was this athlete identity. And that's what I want to share with you a little bit about today, because that is really the crux of this group coaching program. The reason I wanted to bring together a small group of like-minded fellow former female athletes was to be able to provide support and encouragement as we walk through this thing called life after sport together. And one of the biggest things that impacts our ability to eat confidently, to feel good in our own skin is our athlete identity. And one of the things our athlete identity tells us is that good is never good enough, that we need to keep pushing, we need to keep going for more. And that's one of the first things that we look at in the Power program is, how does your life look different? How does your life serve you now? How do you feel about you? Because I say it so often, but how you feel about yourself directly impacts how you fuel yourself. And so breaking down this athlete identity, recognizing that just because you may not look the same as you did when you competed doesn't make you any less of an athlete. Your body does not dictate how good of an athlete you were, how good of an athlete you still are, because once an athlete, always an athlete. Am I right? So we really dive deep into, what does that athlete identity tell us about how we make choices now? Do we say yes to the workout even when we're really exhausted? That's our athlete identity. Do we say no to dessert because we've been eating clean all day and it would completely ruin it? That's our athlete identity. Our athlete identity, our all or nothing mindset. And so Ruby and I really dove deep into that. We restructured how she views her athlete identity so it can help her instead of be a hindrance. These things that we have, these skills and characteristics we have developed as athletes, they are so powerful, and we want to use them to our benefit instead of them impacting and hindering our daily life in life after sport. And it may seem kind of far-fetched to, how does this play into nutrition? But like I said, how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself directly impacts how you feel yourself. And so after Ruby and I worked together, she came back to me and she told me how she felt the most confident she had ever felt. Even when she was competing, she was able to look at foods and know which ones she wanted. She was able to say yes to dessert with as much confidence as she said no to dessert when she didn't want it. She was able to say yes to the team outing on the lake. Yes, she and her teammates had an outing on the lake, and she was able to go in a swimsuit, fully confident, without having any fears about what other people might say about her. And that meant she was able to continue to fuel herself leading up to that outing. This is what I want for you. This is what I desire your life after sport to look like, just like Ruby's. And that is why I'm so excited that this group program is coming to fruition. Now stay tuned. I have one more email come into your inbox in a couple of days. You're not going to want to miss this one. This is your official invite to the group program. I cannot wait for that to launch. In the meantime, I want you to send me back, what is one thing about your athlete identity that you think you're still hanging on to that might be impacting your day-to-day life? And I'll share with you mine. Mine is my perfectionism. I can't tell you how many times I may have recorded this video. So my perfectionism is attached to my athlete identity, coming from a sport where you had to be a perfect 10. So which characteristic, which quality is related to your athlete identity, and how is it impacting your day-to-day life. I cannot wait to hear from you. I am so excited to read all about your athlete identity. Hit reply. Let me know what characteristic, what quality of yours is tied into your athlete identity. Or maybe you don't know. Maybe that's something and you could just email me back saying, I really don't know, but I can't wait to learn more about it. Cannot wait to come on and talk with you guys in a couple more days. Keep an eye out on your inbox. We'll talk soon.